It's not getting it.
So you were hearing, what he was saying to them when they were little.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was really neat. You have Netflix, right?
Well, he had an unbelievable ability with children, period.
Yeah.
Children loved him. He loved them back.
I thought Ali was his only child.
No, he's got 9
He
kids.
has 9 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that boy was working, wasn't he?
I know, they
You
said...
understand how he came to fighting?
Well, they said, somebody kept it to his lunch money or something? Or he was,
No. Somebody stole his bicycle.
Somebody stole his bike, okay.
He's 12 years old and he'd go running up and down the street proclaiming how he was going to whoop the man, the kid,
stole his
whoever
bike.
that stole his bike. And there's a local cop there that heard him ranting and raving and says, maybe you should try boxing.
Yeah, is that right? Maybe you said, do you know how to fight?
I think,
He goes-
did he train him or?
Gus
D'Amato was the...
I like
He brought
that.
him to,
What's
he
my
brought him to
name?
D'Amato.
What's
There's
my
a picture
name?
of him with 12 years of age right there.
Gus
Oh,
D'Amato
yeah.
also
Yeah.
fought.
That is him.
I was listening to
Then when he
him
first got
talk,
it,
Legends.
in the
and
corner
I'm
of
sure
that.
you've seen Ali with Will Smith.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I was listening to him talk on this. Will Smith did a really, did an amazing job
great job.
getting his
Again,
voice down.
Yeah, I thought he did it
Because
really
he has a really unique speech pattern. You know, Ali.
Yeah, you have rhythm to it.
Mm-hmm.
He probably, I don't know that he could sing, but I'll bet you, he could have sang probably if he had a voice.
His ex-wife said that one thing that people didn't know about him was he cried. When
Yes,
he
he
was
was actually
very-
a sensitive man,
and so-
especially about his kids.
Yeah. And when something touched him, he cried.
It is weird to call him the greatest, though. I don't know. As a dude who loves boxing, it's hard to go greatest
you
fighter.
do-
of
no,
all
no.
time.
George Foreman said calling him the greatest boxer is
beneath him.
He was a great man in general.
That's what I was about
I
to
can
say.
go for that. I don't know that he's the greatest boxer of all time.
Because when he joined, when he joined the Nation of Islam, they viewed white people as evil at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, he did really some unbelievable controversial things and statements.
Yeah.
But he also made friends, of course he made friends with Malcolm X. But you listen to some of the quotes that Malcolm X says, and he was spot on.
Well, they were friends
One-
before
you know,
he
you
became
have-
Muslim, wasn't he? And then they quit being friends after he became, because the Nation of Islam
Yeah, they didn't
renounced
want.
him,
Yeah,
didn't they?
they renounced Malcolm X. And he was still part of the nation, so he couldn't be friends with him, even
So
though.
Malcolm X was saying it was not about race. He went over to the
Yeah, once he went to
Holy Land
Mecca,
and seen
yeah.
it was people of all color. Wasn't
Exactly,
wasn't race.
and Muhammad became a Sunni Muslim later, and because he came to the same place.
And that, by the time he became a Sunni, that really changed a lot of things. He had some fantastic quotes after 9/11
Do you want to open
about how
another
these people
window?
were not Muslim.
Or is that enough?
He was a very
It's
peaceful
enough right
man
now,
at that point.
but we may need to open one later.
Yeah, it's interesting, his life and the way, things happened. We were watching Good Morning America this morning. I told Mario, he was in the shower when they had, I wish you would have been able to see it. If I would have thought about it, I would have taped it. But they were, just talking to him and interviewing Layla. And they said that his heart beat 30 minutes longer than after his organs failed.
Oh my God. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
His heartbeat what?
30 minutes longer, 30 minutes after his organs failed, his heart kept beating.
I would like talk about a will to live. Like he wanted to live.
Or maybe it wasn't a will to live.
Well, they told him,
Maybe it's just that what Ali was that hard.
Yeah.
That was like God gave Ali,
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
was that hard.
I believe that.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more
This is why you
spiritual
should
about
be
some things like that.
taping all
I've
of
had
this.
too many things happen
Oh,
to me in
yeah.
my life not to look at things in a spiritual way. Because there was some type of divine intervention, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. More than once.
Yeah, you got that right.
That's why I said I am a survivor when we had that wedding. I'll tell that to anybody.
Yeah, amen.
So, there's things that happen that are mystifying. You know, my dad's funeral had something very interesting happen. It was December, and it was a cloudy day, and we were sitting in the front pew, and they were singing Ave Maria. And this beam of sun came through the window. Oh, that's cool. And I turned around and looked behind me. Only that window had the beam of sun coming through, shining on it.
Wow.
Go figure on that. How do you explain something like that?
Yeah, just one single window. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Did you
It's
get
cool
some
stuff.
of this?
You know, it's-
This is delicious.
Did you get some
you
of
know,
this?
that's a good sign.
What's the name of this again?
Did you try it?
You know,
What are we drinking?
Not yet?
That's right.
This is good, Dave.
I'm glad you guys like it.
Centenario.
Centenario?
Yeah, I got the whole story right here.
Is it 25 year?
It's a 25-year Costa Rican rum.
This is
On
beautiful.
Centenario, and it is the best rum I've ever drank. This is, they say it's in one of the top 10 runs.
This is beautiful right here.
Oh.
I just tried to always, I don't like all smoke.
So
The only
so
bad
Muhammed
comment
Ali-
I read on
Really
somebody
doesn't
said,
matter.
it's too sweet.
Thank God it's taking forever.
It's smooth.
Well, this is pretty bad.
Super smooth.
Yeah, I didn't really.
Well, let me go introduce you to some Bacardi. It's a burn all the way down your ass.
So
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 what
Muhammad
took you
wasn't
to
the best boxer.
Chicago?
Y'all think the best
Just
boxer?
visiting?
It was Paige's birthday,
What's that?
and we.
If you guys don't think Muhammad was the best boxer, who was the best boxer?
Rocky Marciano.
I think he was the best boxer.
I think you'd have to say Rocky Marciano by just the fact that
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
the only defeated heavyweight champion of all time. But I also think it depends on the eras. You know, I mean, Mike Tyson in his prime may have been the all-time greatest boxer ever, but he didn't sustain it over an entire
What
career.
about marvelous Marvin Hagler?
I saw him fight
You know what?
twice. and he
Hagler was a
incredible.
great boxer, but I have to say, and
I don't think,
and
I wouldn't
I am
list
a
him as a great
huge
boxer.
Ali fan. But I'm kind of a boxing fan too, though, just
I'm a
in
huge
general.
boxing fan.
Yeah, so
Rocky was incredible.
It's a guy's
I
sport.
agree
Like, girls, most
with
girls
every
don't
fighter
like it.
you've thrown out there, but impact to the not only impact to the sport, but impact. Nobody's had an impact greater than Ali to the sport. Although I will say, Tyson's style was derived directly from Marciano.
Same
Just
shit.
don't
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah,
So
they
I
had
have a
the same
question
trainer
for
on
you
it.
Well,
guys.
here's another person that nobody ever talks about. And I saw the No Moss fight was Sugar Ray.
Oh yeah.
Sugar Ray
But
was
if
so
you like Sugar
elegant,
Ray,
such an elegant, quick fighter.
then I think you would have to probably defend Floyd Mayweather at that point because they fought the same kind of fight.
Floyd
It's
Mayweather
an
is
exceptional
They're the
fight.
similar. They're
Sugar Ray-
You know what?
similar
I
fighters.
can't
Always a
like
defensive
Mayweather
fight.
because-
I saw both fights against Tommy Hearns where they fought in Las Vegas, and it's just both defensive fights. He should have got called on them both and lost, but won the decisions because he was Sugar Ray. There's a bunch of nonsense. And to be perfectly honest, Ali should have lost to Ken Vaughn. You know, he lost the first one,
Yeah.
and he got the second two on split decisions, and even the universal scorecard had him losing the last round. It was tied going into the last round. Should have won it. You know? And you wonder if a loss like that changes your legacy. I mean, he lost 5 fights.
Yeah, no, he did. He did.
What fight was this? Mayweather and
No, we were
Ali
talking
lost
about
5 times. This
Ali.
is Ali had fought Ken Norton 3 times.
yeah.
And won 2, but by decision, and very questionable decisions at that. It's kind of interesting.
Kid Norton was a bruiser.
Yeah,
That's a tough man.
Yeah,
Very much
I definitely didn't think that he should have tried to come back in '81.
No, that was a giant mistake.
I mean, he was about to be 40. It was just like, you know.
You have to
it's-
wonder
it's
at
like-
what point in his career caused the
And
Parkinson.
actually, he.
Oh, I think that's the thrill of Manila.
What?
Had to be the George Foreman fight.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Foreman hit him hard, but the thrill of Manila, man, those guys were. I mean, Frazier couldn't even answer the bell the 15th because he was blind. If he did have to answer the bell, he would just have to stay out of Frazier's way because Frazier couldn't even see him.
Ali admitted he wasn't going to get up either, and just Frazier called it first. You guys, I had nothing. I
See,
couldn't-
that-
I couldn't get
they-
up.
What
They
fight
beat
were
the
we
living
watching
shit out
that
of
he
each other.
went in on
And
the
I really
sixth
think Ali, if you look back
round
at
and
history
said,
of
"I'm
Ali,
done"?
he wasn't the same after.
Frazier won.
That's fair. That's
Frazier
fair.
won.
And I think the
Just-
pound clearly
It
the
is
pounding
like,
material was
I got
phenomenal.
nothing.
It
I
just
can't
took
even
so
come
much
back
out
to
of him
corner,
that-
forget it.
Yeah.
You know, that's when he started fighting Holmes and
Yeah,
Spinks and
oh
some
my
of those
God.
guys, and
So I
Larry
have-
beat him well.
So I have a
Lost
question
that.
for you
Very
guys,
things too.
since you're all boxing fans and I am not. I don't like watching watch it.
Boxing isn't what it used to be now.
That's what I was gonna say. Do you think that? Because Brian's younger than all of us here, and he didn't grow up seeing that kind of boxing. He didn't grow
MMA
up
is
seeing
probably-
boxing.
Yeah.
Nowadays all they do is dance.
Well, MMA is a sport.
Well, I don't know about that.
I saw,
I've
you know,
I
great
can't
fighters.
Well,
stand
in
Mayweather.
lower weight classes.
Yeah, not the
Yeah,
heavyweight.
not
they are.
heavyweight.
In
no.
heavyweight
Sugar
categories.
Ray and Duran, we were in the Superdome.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
We used to fill these huge arenas
yeah.
But what you gotta think is that basically Ali kind of
to watch boxing. You can't do that
Set the
anymore.
bar and say, look, you don't want to. Well, a lot of guys didn't want to get in the sport because of the
Yeah.
after effects. I mean,
Sure.
taking that type of beating and
Oh yeah.
being punch drunk. I mean, a lot of athletes are choosing other sports other than boxing.
Yeah.
I've had 6
Really-
concussions,
But-
and I'm okay.
Football isn't any better. What
That's
other sport are
questionable.
you gonna do? Baseball, maybe.
No, I think one of the biggest things
Basketball.
that changed boxing was, if you remember all those LA fights, what channel was it on? They were all on ABC.
Yeah, all
on Wide
ABC.
World of
Yeah, they-
Sports. You could watch it for free. It was always Howard Cosell.
Oh yeah.
Calling the fights.
Howard
very good friends.
Cosell.
Then they went
And
to
Cosell was an equal
in
part
Tyson's
of that.
Oh,
time.
yeah.
They
I can
went
almost
to
imitate
pay-per-view.
Howard. I got his voice is so
Without
stuck in
Cosell,
your
Ali,
head.
not Ali, without
Now all of a
Cosell.
sudden you're paying $50 to see Tyson knock out a dude in the first round.
Yeah.
Tyson
Pay-per-view
was probably the
changed
last-
that.
Howard
Yeah.
Cosell. Tonight
Yeah.
we are at Madison Square Garden.
Have
they
you
both
seen-
made each other very
Yeah,
much so.
yeah. Oh, they
were
definitely
very
made each
good.
other.
There was
and
a
they were
story.
really good friends behind the scenes.
Very good friends.
Yeah,
I
like
got to
you
tell you a
would-
story
'cause
about
they,
Cosell.
You know, they taunted each other so much on air, but they were really good friends behind the scenes.
Cosell
Are we
and
gonna start this?
who does
It's right over for Dave.
No,
Sunday night
just-
football?
Michaels.
Michaels.
Yeah.
We're here to do a Royals broadcast, I believe it was, and they were in a limo, and Cosell would wear his ABC, his jacket everywhere, the yellow jacket everywhere. Go to a restaurant, he'd have the jacket. He never had any other jacket. He just had his ABC sports jacket. So, and I think they were at the Savoy that night. Anyway, they were heading back, and they were down there off of Grand somewhere, maybe over a little bit, and there were a couple black dudes just duking it out on the corner, and a bunch of other kids around them. And Cosell screams at the limo driver, "Stop, stop, stop, stop." And he gets out and walks right up to him. And starts, talking about the fight and talking about Ali and talking about this. And you guys just don't have any skills. You need to stand up and do this. And you need to go find a gym and work out in this gym. They could have shot him.
Oh, yeah. Very
But he
good
has,
shit.
it's Cosell, he has this fucking jacket on,
He's got the yellow ABC jacket on. That is hilarious.
He wore it everywhere.
That is
He
hilarious.
never had another jacket he wore out.
That is funny.
I mean, when you're a kid playing sports,
This is a book that
didn't
Michaels
you do
wrote.
a Howard
Oh,
Cosell
yeah,
impression,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
You're calling your own
Absolutely.
shots.
So wait a second. So you're on a corner, you squared off against this dude, and you're duking it, and this limo pulls up, and here comes Cosell getting out.
Right.
And you're looking over going,
This is Howard Cosell.
fucking
Like,
Cosell over there, man.
That is awesome. That's a great story.
I'd like to be the guy who was fighting it. He probably told that story for years. He went back to the hood and said, man, you won't believe who I fucking ran into last night.
that's
He stopped me from fighting and told me I sucked. That's funny shit.
Alright, we get started here in a second. I'm just. Anybody talk to Jesse? You know if he's coming?
Yeah, I haven't heard
What happened?
I'm
of
going
him. I
to
wonder
assume he's not
if it's
coming.
just like kind of rose-colored glasses you look back on. I think boxing is still exceptionally popular. And the biggest boxing matches will
It's
always
not that
outdraw the
it's
biggest
not.
UFC matches.
It's
for
not
sure.
that it's not popular. It's that,
Oh no, it's
like,
the same
you
cultural
have-
relevance.
like, if you think about how Ali did his trash talk, and it was still kind of
It's pretty witty.
it was, and it was, you could respect it.
Yeah, it's
You
funny.
listen to Mayweather, and all I want to do is wash his mouth out with soap or smack the shit out of him. He's just a jerk.
I love Mayweather, but
I can't. You would love Mayweather. I can't stand him.
it doesn't let us.
Well, he's a marketing genius.
And it
He
doesn't let
is.
us.
He
It
is,
doesn't
and
let us.
that is
But
the
he's
draw.
hand
People
over
want to see
fist.
it.
He's
Yeah.
just-
kid.
What
Yeah,
Jack
now
was
that-
saying
now
is
that's
that
what
he
he
can
brought to the
handle
game.
himself a little bit differently and make himself a little more pleasant public
I
persona.
would agree.
I think he wants
I
to
think-
I think he's doing it
I
on
think
purpose.
the
though.
bad
He wants to
boy
make
in-
some-
I don't
Well, he
think
does
so.
because he thinks
I
that's
think
what's going
that
to
is-
draw people to him. And that's
Yeah,
not
I
what
think-
But I
we
think
wanna
that
watch
is
this
his
year.
ego. That he truly believes no one can beat him. Truly.
Nobody has.
Nobody ever.
I mean,
has.
I know that.
let's look at the presidential election. We're going to either elect Hillary or we're going to elect Trump. God help us all. God help us all. I mean, geez.
It's not
I mean,
very- it's not very-
this is what we've come to, that we can't even elect somebody even remotely presidential. I don't care which side you're swinging on that way, it doesn't matter. They're both fucking jackasses. Let's deal with the reality of that.
It's gonna be.
Now we were looking at something on TV, and the guy had a point. It's like there's these techniques of persuasion, and they were saying that Trump's, that's his strength.
Oh, absolutely.
He's a master of persuasion, and he's got it down to such a science that he doesn't seem like he's trying to persuade you to do anything. Said, but by never nailing down anything solid, he doesn't give you anything to punch at.
That gives you nothing to come at.
And he'll make you choose the derogatory nickname, toward whoever his opponent is, and
He does it. He does
well,
it.
he'll
at the beginning
he'll
of his...
say it, but he'll go, is it heartless Hillary or is it evil Hillary? And people go, she's evil, and so it's real psychological how, and I don't think he should be anywhere even in the same block as the White House, but I
don't know that Hillary should either.
Yeah, but
That's the
but
scary
he's definitely crazy like a fox. He's not crazy.
Sure.
Did you watch John Oliver last night?
No,
No, we were. Yeah.
about
We went and
dead.
watched Pop Star
The
last night.
political cartoonists, whatever happens for the next 4 years, are going to have a fucking blast. They are now. I saw the one in the Kansas City Star the other day. Hillary and Trump are standing there arguing, and then there's two guys standing back there, they're both holding a sign.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what the sign says, but basically, we're not going to vote for either one of them, I think. And they're both holding a sign. It's kind of like, who do we vote for?
It's just going to be insanely low turnout. So whoever is the best job
Yeah, there's-
getting at the base, because
yeah.
most of the people in the middle honestly don't give a
But
shit.
I never dreamed, being an older guy, I never dreamed I would see anything like this in my country.
I think this is
This is-
just the culmination of how Congress and
Oh,
politics
yeah,
have been
it's
for the last
it's-
4
it's-
years.
It's the dirty.
You're seeing it
it's-
play
it-
out
it's-
in our
it's the
presidential
It's the
candidates.
dirty end of a bad era of politics.
I think so.
And that's a good way to put it.
And
Everybody.
I hope that's the truth. That
It's
is
a dirty
the
end.
dirty end.
I feel
Too
like,
bad.
I really feel like we'll have to see in 4 years' time, 5 years' time.
I don't think either
If
one of
he-
them will be a
I
second
feel,
year.
yeah, I feel like
They're
both
a
of them.
one-term. They're both be one-term presidents.
I feel that way
Whoever
too.
What should be next week's discussion? That'd be fun.
Who's gonna fill in? Who's
Well,
gonna fill in
we
next
talked,
year?
we
I
talked
like
about
it.
having a political discussion
Be
at one
fun.
time or another, and
No, I mean, next year, who's gonna come after one term? Who's gonna?
Yeah.
well, you
never
hope
know
you
this
hope
far
that
out.
somebody
You
with a
never
more
know this far out.
presidential sense about them.
Yeah.
I don't care if my president is even that smart, but I do want my president. I do want him fairly smart, but I do want my president to be presidential. Whether you like Reagan or not, you looked at Reagan; he was a very presidential man, and so was George number one.
Yeah.
They conducted themselves well.
Yeah. Yeah.
They looked like the leader of the country.
Yeah.
When they spoke, they did.
And knowing how to conduct yourself. is a big deal.
Even Jimmy Carter. I mean, he was kind of country bumpkin a little bit. He could still be very presidential.
Yeah.
He put that up a lot.
And then you had Nixon.
Yeah.
Gerald Ford was a serious guy. Nixon was kind of like Trump in a lot of ways. He was just his fucking personality was just out there. And then Johnson. You ever read on Johnson?
Yeah.
He was a crazy motherfucker.
Oh,
Yeah, he did some
He
wild
would
shit.
expose himself in Air Force One. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Constantly.
He had large private parts both this part and this part. And he would come out to the press conference and say, I told y'all I got big balls.
That is hilarious.
You didn't know that?
No,
Read on it.
I didn't know
He
that.
was a freak, man. The dude was a bona fide freak.
That is crazy.
You imagine that, you're in Air Force One, you're flying along,
I know.
and here comes this crazy bastard
Walks
out,
back to the press corps. And,
porky pigging with a shirt on, you know, probably, and his fucking meat hanging out.
And you can't do nothing about it.
Can't do a damn thing about it.
You are
He said-
stuck in the sky.
And they didn't dare write about anything in those days, you know. You did that, you'd be off the press corps in about 2 seconds. You might be not found again.
Yeah, it's much different now that you have internet and instant upload and
Oh yeah,
sharing.
everything's right there. Ready to go?
Yeah, I'm just making sure we're.
It's one of the biggest myths of American history that people thought most Americans didn't know after polio. They almost all know.
No, because they never photographed him.
Almost every American knew that he died. It was not a secret. They only did not during the war years, so they didn't want to look weak. But every American knew they had to laugh.
Okay, we about ready?
When we get on Ali, do you want me to do a little bit of, you know, when he was born history?
Yeah,
I got all that right here, so I can do some year history.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
If you want to do that.